Welcome to the deep dive. Solar energy is fantastic when the sun's out, right? But what happens when it gets cloudy or even starts raining?
Yeah, usually that means power production just stops for traditional panels.
Exactly. But today we're looking into something, well, pretty surprising. Rain-powered solar
It
panels.
sounds almost counterintuitive, doesn't it?
It really does. So our mission here is to explore this cutting-edge idea that blends generating energy with saving water and how it connects, maybe unexpectedly, to a place like Wyoming.
And we're basing this discussion on some detailed research, specifically a study from Black Knight Power.
Okay, let's dive in. My first thought is just how? How on earth do raindrops actually make electricity? Sounds a bit like science fiction.
It is pretty ingenious,
Mm.
and it really changes how we think about bad weather for solar. The core tech is called triboelectric nanogenerators, TENJO for short.
Ten is okay.
Think about rubbing a balloon on your hair, that static electricity. TENGs work kind of like that. They take the kinetic energy, the energy motion from falling raindrops,
Uh-huh.
and convert it into electricity through friction right there on the panel surface as the drop hits.
Right.
That little impact creates a charge.
Wow. Okay. So not tiny wizards then. Actual physics.
Right. Actual physics. It means these panels have this dual function. They can make energy during rain or heavy cloud cover, tackling that big limitation of standard solar.
So it turns a downside into, well, another power source.
Precisely. And what's really exciting is that the benefits go beyond just getting power during a storm.
Oh. Like what?
Well, you get a big boost in overall efficiency, obviously, because
Hmm.
they work when traditional panels don't. But there's also a huge sustainability angle.
Okay.
There was a case study in Jordan, really interesting. They used 2 solar panels set up with water collection system.
Yeah.
Get this. They collected 444 liters of rainwater in just 60 days.
444 liters from 2 panels.
Yep. And that system didn't just make power, it cut down on stormwater runoff and provided water to clean the panels themselves, even some for irrigation.
That's incredible, turning rain from runoff into a resource.
Exactly. Think about places like Wyoming, where water scarcity is a real issue. This model becomes really adaptable.
Did this study, the Black Knight Power one, say much about how they, optimized that collection? Any hitches in the real world?
Yeah, they talked about using specific surface materials and angling the panels just right. That helped the water flow efficiently without blocking the sun too much for the solar part.
Makes sense.
They did mention needing good filters, obviously, to make sure the water was usable, but overall it seemed pretty effective and surprisingly low maintenance.
Okay, great tech, dual benefits,
Yeah.
water saving. But now the big question, Wyoming. How does this fit in a place known more for its wind than its rain?
Right, and that's actually why Wyoming is such an interesting place to consider this. It's true, it's not the rainiest place.
Definitely known for wind. Hurricane force gusts sometimes, right?
Oh yeah, gusts over 75 miles per hour in winter aren't uncommon. That's definitely a challenge for any solar panel. Durability, maintenance, big factors.
So how do these panels handle that?
Well, first, even though the annual rainfall is moderate, maybe 12 to 16 inches on average,
Uh-huh.
the Tamed technology means they can grab extra energy during those storms when it does rain. It makes the most of the rain it gets.
Okay, but the wind, does the study mention tougher designs for these panels? Is
Right.
there a trade-off?
Good question. The Black Knight Power study does point to using reinforced impact-resistant materials for that Tang layer. It's often built right into the main panel structure.
So stronger.
Stronger, yeah. But that does mean a higher upfront cost. They estimate maybe 15 to 20% more than a standard panel.
Ah, okay, here's the catch.
Well, yes and no.
Yeah.
Because they generate power more consistently, even during rain, they can become more cost-effective over their lifetime. You're relying less on the grid, especially during bad weather. That offsets the initial cost.
Right, reliability has value. So where do you see this being used most effectively in Wyoming?
I think several areas. Definitely residential homes getting more consistent year-round energy despite the weather swings.
Makes sense for homeowners.
And agriculture. Big potential there. Generating power and harvesting rainwater for irrigation, that's huge in a drier climate.
Yeah, that water piece is key.
And absolutely crucial for remote, off-grid locations. Places where a steady power supply isn't just convenient, it's essential. These panels offer a new level of energy independence.
So wrapping this up, what's the main takeaway here?
I'd say it's that these rain-powered panels are a genuinely promising step forward.
Yeah.
They combine the standard solar tech, photovoltaics, with these 10-inch sticks for dual energy generation.
Tackling solar's biggest weakness head on.
Exactly, turning that weakness into a strength, giving us more consistent, resilient power.
And for you listening, maybe think about this. How could other innovative combinations, like pairing energy generation with water harvesting, really change how we approach sustainable energy, especially in places with unique climates like Wyoming? What other unexpected pairings might hold solutions to the big challenges we're facing?